Hi, I'm Chef Owen Tilley. I'd like to welcome you to this week's edition of Ask the Chef. Today our question comes from Jasmine. Jasmine's one of our Twitter followers, and she asked, how do I cook shrimp without overcooking it? Got the answer for you, Jasmine. Now, when we buy shrimp, we normally buy it in the frozen state, and you're going to want to thaw it before you cook it. And the way to do this, if it has its shell on, you want to thaw it in a bowl underneath the faucet with a little trickle of cold water. You don't want hot water because we don't want to cook the shrimp, we just want to thaw it. So a little trickle of cold water, we'll do that in about 20 minutes. Now if you've bought it already with the shell off, you're going to want to thaw that in the refrigerator overnight. And the reason being is the shell protects the shrimp, and if it doesn't have that shell on it, if you put it under running water, the shrimp will actually absorb water, and that's going to mess with the taste and the texture, and we want to stay away from that. Now, if you buy shell-on shrimp, which is the most economical way, you're going to have to peel it mostly to cook it. You can cook it with the shell on, but I wouldn't suggest it unless you really know what you're doing. So I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to take that shell off. The easiest way, and I've been doing this for years, folks, is to grab a fork and take the first tine. You want to put it underneath the shell into the shrimp and just glide it down. Now, I like to keep my tail on my shrimp, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it and poke the tine through the knuckle before it gets to the tail, and then simply follow through. Now what this does is two things at once. Now the shrimp is peeled, and if you look on the back, it's deveined as well, and that'll save you time. Let's talk about cooking the shrimp. I've prepared some shrimp in various stages of cooking just because, well, two reasons. I didn't want to reach into a hot pan and burn myself on camera, and I wanted you to be able to hear me. So what I've done is, here's a raw shrimp, and let's talk about this. I said earlier, I say that shrimp tells you when it's done, tells you when it's cooked. And the way that it does this is three different ways. A raw shrimp is opaque. As you can see, it's kind of translucent. What it does is as it cooks, it turns white. As a shrimp cooks, the tail turns pink or orange. And then thirdly, the shrimp curls itself up when it's done. So what I did is I cooked the shrimp on one side in a saute pan. And this is what happens. It cooks on one side. You can see white down this side. You can see the pink of the tail, and you can see it starting to curl. Now on this side, it's still completely raw. So what I did, simply turn it over. And this was after about 2 minutes. So I flipped the shrimp over, and then it gives me this piece after it's cooked for about a minute. You're going to want to jump the gun and think it's done, but if you look closely, it does have a stripe of opaqueness through the center of it, and that tells me it's raw on the inside. Even though the tail is pink, the meat is mostly white and it's curled up. You're going to want to let it cook that extra minute. So after about 4 minutes in a saute pan on high heat, this shrimp is done. Completely white, nice tight curl, nice pink orange color on the tail. Now shrimp comes in all different sizes. The larger ones that I've cooked today take about 4 minutes on a saute pan over high heat. Smaller shrimp are going to take less time, so take that into consideration. So I hope this answers your question, Jasmine, and thanks for asking. And I look forward to all of your questions in the upcoming weeks. And remember, you keep asking, and I'll keep cooking.